The sun cannot just disappear without breaking numerous physical laws. That's the problem of invoking magic. The instant you do it, all bets are off. When you use your imagination to play with something that is not possible given the laws of physics, you also have to use your imagination to cherry-pick what other laws of physics you wish to use, change, or ignore. For the gravity of the sun to instantly disappear, the energy of the sun would also need to instantly disappear, which would violate the laws of conservation of energy. One rule of thumb is that you can't expect the whole range of physics or human behavior to stay the same when one drastically important thing changes. What other natural phenomena would be affected as a result of this, and what other laws of physics would you have to break, and what assumptions would you have to make? But let's speculate what would happen if the sun magically vanished from the sky today. What would follow, and how long could we expect to survive here on Earth? If the sun suddenly disappeared, Earth would keep on moving in a straight line tangent to the path it was originally moving when there was gravity from the sun. You won't feel a difference though, because the gravity on Earth is still intact. But all gravitationally bound objects in the sky, planets, moons, asteroids, comets, rocks, space dust, and other celestial bodies, would begin to move away from their usual paths at roughly the same time. Rogue planets could collide with thousands of other gigantic bodies, possibly leading to destruction and chaos, at least in a longer perspective. With no energy from the sun, the ocean streams will stop circulating, the winds will stop, and hence the waves. With no sun to power evaporation, the rain will eventually stop, the clouds will disappear, and rivers will stop flowing. And the psychological effect of suddenly losing the parent star, this is like finding out that in a few days a gigantic asteroid will slam into Earth and wipe out all life. Can the consequences and people's reactions be even remotely understood? Sudden darkness will be observed on Earth already after a few minutes. The temperature would start to drop, and that would make survival difficult, and photosynthesis would stop immediately after the sunlight disappears. All plants, animals, and humans would be thrown into a spiraling death process. But how long would it take? What would happen if the sun disappeared? The sun is the closest star to Earth. Only thanks to the sun, life as we know it exists. Its light hits the surface of the planet, making it warm enough for living organisms to develop and live on. Plants convert solar energy into chemical energy. They give us oxygen to breathe, and so you can go to the beach and have a tap. But what would happen if the sun disappeared right now? What do you think? Well, it would get dark. Well, would we even notice that? How long would we be able to survive without the sun? Would it be cold enough for the Russians to consider moving to a different planet? Well, in this video, we decided to take a look at this hypothetical situation and imagine what it would be like to live on Earth without the sun. Therefore, well, let's go to the dark side. Counting down from number 1, we would have no idea at first. Seriously, the sun is 8 light minutes away from Earth. A light means it is a distance that light can travel in 1 minute. For example, if you were on Mars and your friend were here on Earth. Let's imagine you both have good enough eyes to see each other. If you waved to your friend, he would see you only in about 30 minutes, depending on how far Mars would be at the moment. Here's another example. If 65 million light years away, there were some advanced creatures that had powerful telescopes, they would be able to see dinosaurs walking on Earth, or rather making their last steps, because that's when they went extinct approximately. The sunlight reflected by Earth would need 65 million years to reach the creature's eyes or whatever they use to see things. As we know, nothing, literally nothing in the universe can travel faster than light. So right after the sun disappeared, it would take 8 minutes for this good news to reach us. Even the gravitational pull that the sun has on our planet would also end only in 8 minutes. So the Earth would continue orbiting the spot where the sun had been, as if nothing happened, but for only 8 minutes. After that, our planet would start to fly in a straight line, and that's when mass panic would probably start, as people try to return those solar panels they just had installed. Number 2, it would be very dark. Those on the night side wouldn't notice anything at first, but only until the moon would disappear. As it would have no sunlight to reflect, other planets would vanish into darkness one after another as the last bits of reflected light would reach our eyes. Distant stars would be our only source of light outside the planet. It would be quite enough to be able to see around a bit. Photosynthesis would stop, so plants would no longer be able to produce life-sustaining oxygen. It might sound like a serious issue, but it isn't. Collectively, all living humans, all insects, and all animals would still have enough oxygen to breathe for about another 1,000 years. There would be a much bigger problem, though. Number 3, it would be extremely cold without any source of heat. Earth would cool down very quickly. Within just the first week, the planet would be about 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. It doesn't sound that scary, right? Especially taking into account fuels that we have, we would most likely get along fine without the sun for the first few months. But by the end of the first year without the sun, it would be so cold that the only way for us and other organisms to survive would be to go underground as deep as possible. The closer you would live to the core, the better chances you would have, but that would involve a lot of digging. Seriously speaking, though, none of us would be able to live if we didn't find a way to leave Earth. Number 4, oceans would freeze over. Because of the extreme temperatures, the surface of oceans would become a giant skating rink, but only the surface. It's not that the ice would be thin, and you'd have to think twice before jumping on it. The thing is, has been estimated that liquid water would continue to exist at the bottom of our oceans for billions of years. It wouldn't freeze because the Earth's core would still be very hot. So friends, what do you think about this theory? Write your views in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get interesting videos. If you liked the video, please like and share the video.